So I think we're in new challenges. We're facing new challenges in the culture today when it comes to evangelism. We are in, for many of us, a post-Christendom world where we no longer have a common language, common Christian language with people outside the church. We no longer have the inherent respect and authority of the church or the Bible when we go out and we talk to people about Christ outside the church. So we're in a whole new territory, and I think that Luke chapter 10 gives us a bit of a recipe for how to engage. And I'll use 3 P's: presence, proclamation, and then power. I think what Luke 10 teaches us is that when Jesus sends out the 70 disciples, he says, go and be present. Go vulnerably as sheep among wolves. Go with no money. Go and eat what's put before you and remain there. Don't move around. Be present. And be present to other people and to what I'm doing there. And so presence becomes the most important thing, actually, in evangelism. And it's out of this that we recognize God's at work in people's lives. I don't come with a predetermined formula for evangelism. I go there to be present, to see what God's doing in that person's life. And then Jesus says, proclaim the gospel. Proclaim the kingdom of God has come. Proclaim that God's breaking in through Jesus Christ to be Lord of the world and bring all things to their rightful place in right relationship with himself. And so after we've listened, proclaim. I think it's a different kind of a thing than just explaining a gospel presentation. It's saying, I announce that I believe Jesus is at Lord working in your life in this particular situation for these purposes. Can you see it? Can you enter in? Will you join in the kingdom of God? And out of that comes an invitation. And then lastly, when we proclaim the kingdom, Jesus says, those who hear you, hear me. Those who reject you, reject me. I'm present there. And when you submit one to another in this place, you open up space for the kingdom of God to break in, for power and healing and renewal of all things and forgiveness and reconciliation to take place. And so when the disciples return to Jesus, they go, I can't believe what happened. Even the demons obeyed us in your name. And Jesus says, I saw Satan fall like lightning. This is what happens in true evangelism. We open up space for God to work and his power to break in announcing Jesus as Lord. I think those are the 3 ideas. We recall that when Jesus said, now don't get too excited about all these things. Instead, rejoice that your name is written in the book of life. I think what he's saying is, remember, the power is not yours. It's mine, the king, the lordship of Christ entering into a place. But rejoice that you're a participant. And so we are participants in the work of the kingdom and calling people into relationship with God through Jesus Christ. Presence always precedes proclamation, and proclamation always opens up space for the kingdom to break in. I think these are the important things we need to learn in terms of evangelism in the post-Christendom age.